making your fears without realizing it. The other night I was putting her to bed. She taught me this thing about fear. There was some shadows on the wall. She was screaming, she was crying. She just like kind of buried her head in my chest and like just shut herself off. This decision, I could just let her be comforted and just hide, or instead we can turn towards this fear and we can build a new relationship. Look, Remy, and then I put my hands up close to the wall and I made some shadow puppets, and a few minutes later she's starting to giggle and laugh, and she's like, more. And that taught me most of us are running from the things we're afraid of. What we do, because it feels uncomfortable, the initial inclination is to bury our head and shut ourselves off from it, thinking that it's just going to go away. Well, the problem doesn't go away. In fact, it starts to get worse because you leave things unaddressed. You made a mountain out of a molehill. But if you have the courage to go and face that fear, what you start to realize is those big squirrely lines were just bigger projections of this much smaller thing. But if you didn't spend the time looking at it and try to see it from a different angle, all you're ever going to see is that big, scary projection on the wall. So my challenge to you is to think about, where do you feel that fear in your life? And give yourself permission to just look at it a little bit longer. You might find a whole new happiness and joy in your life. What could be that for you? Well, we don't know until you start to look. But it takes that first little bit of courage.